in every album, especially in every Kendrick album, there is the most popular song, and then there is the best song in the entire album. For me, this song is Momma. Sasa hii ina accumulate thought process in this entire album. Sasa from this perspective, iko na heavy influence ya African heritage. Yani ini perspective ya album ni kwenye tuko as of right now in the story. Ni Kendrick asharudi home kwa sababu ukisikiza the poem, kama you're paying attention to the poem, I remember it was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same. Abusing my power, full of resentment that turned into a deep depression. Find myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. There were for answers. Until I came home. So, until he came home, the mama that he's talking about is Kendrick's mom. So, the voice, you can hear it, you can think of it as Kendrick talking to his mother as after he came back home. Alright, well, true, rudi kwa na madhe. Madhe akozeleza, hey, we've been waiting for you. So, kuna hii kiburi fulani Kendrick bado ako nayo kwa sababu travel the world, akona exposure, akona a lot of things yenye anajua. Ndio maana most of this verses anaanza na I know everything, I know morality, spirituality, good and bad health. But somewhere in the middle ana meeting a blind woman mwenye anaanza conversation na yeye. Hii conversation inafaa kulead Kendrick to think about things in a way that unaweza kuwa travel the world lakini you have not really thought about things the way they're supposed to think about it. Sasa kuna venye unaweza kuwa exposed but you don't really know everything. Now depending on how you want to interpret it, you can interpret it as two women. The mama, the mother part. So the mother can represent his actual mother, can represent Mother Africa, can represent his mother cultural root, can represent his hometown of Compton because it's where he grew up. It's the Compton actually raised him. It can represent the source of his identity. It can represent a lot of things. So, but then you can also think about the mama part, like also the blind woman. But I actually like you thinking about it as two different people because most of the time the pampering and the welcoming back na conversation na kuzungumza nao ambia but then nilikuwa nimeona. But the point in the old woman, I'm the blind woman. The blind woman anamwambianga I see through you. It's ironical. I'm like I saw you, anasemanga kuna pasa anasemanga sijui so anameshanga don't kill my vibe. That's right, you're famous. I saw you somewhere on a radio. I'm like, how are you seeing this person when you were blind woman? But point hii song ni kujaribu kushow ama kujaribu kurepresent the fact that you can be exposed to a lot of things but you lack wisdom. Na hii ni mindset yenye alitoa. Sasa hii song, the entire album almost specifically, this song was heavily inspired ile time alikuwa ameenda South Africa akaanza kwenda kwa hizi zile islands fulani zenye Mandela alishikanga akafunga ngondani during the apartheid seasons, whatever. Ali expose you to the motherland. Sasa akaona what he actually thought he knew, he didn't know anything. You get what I'm saying? So basically anajaribu ni humility, ambiwa tulia kidogo. You thought you knew but you don't really know. Knowledge does not equate wisdom. So, if you come identity, his roots, his family, who he represents, who he is. So, wisdom versus information. What can you know? What can you gain from woods? What can you actually know from actually experienced things? And what can you glean from people that has actually seen it better than you from a different perspective? So, then kuna hii coming home. Coming home bado ni important. Kwa sababu hii location ni bring yourself back. Kwa sababu ile fame na luxury life yenye alikuwa analive lazima angeji separate from this community and his identity ndo aweze ku go out there tafuta kuomboka inataka a lot of sacrifices, lakini kuna hii coming back to your senses enye ni both physical na ni mental na emotional, inajaribu ku bring back, ndo anajaribu ku glim around na ku go around hizi issues amekuwa experience throughout the entire album. Now out of the entire most of the songs that we've listened to, out of all of them, this one is the most chill, so relax. You can actually sit through this and chill. It's a chill song. Now, without going too far, ni a song about reconnecting with your roots.